Healing is not feeling good all the time. It's learning how to respond differently when you feel bad. So I'm not going to go into the details of it because it's very personal. But I've been having some events in my life wherein I have to reflect on this idea of healing and how do we respond when we feel bad. Because when we feel stressed out, there are things that we kind of default to doing. It might be when you feel really angry, you want to throw stuff, you want to fight people. When you're sad, you might cry and, scream and hit the walls. These are things that some people do. It might be self sabotaging, it could be a lot of things. And, we often have this notion that healing is all about, I just feel good all the time. I just feel happy all the time. Everything's so fantastic. That's not healing. Healing is just learning how to respond differently when you feel bad, when things aren't going as you want. And for me, some of the things that have helped me a lot with healing are journaling, exercise, and go outside. I used to kind of bottle my emotions up all the time until they just snapped on people. Like I would just bottle it all up and say, I'm fine and it's all right. And before you know it, I just explode on everyone and everything around me. And that was very self destructive because if you get mad and you feel angry, it's okay to talk about it. You need to talk about it. You need to have some way to let that anger out. Because if you just bottle it all up, eventually it'll come back in the worst ways. And it's not always easy to do the process of healing because even though I was fortunate enough to have access to therapy, I know a lot of people don't. So the things I teach are designed for people like that, where you don't have access to therapy, you don't really have much money. So I try to keep my teachings very easy and applicable. Because for those who are new, my name is Lawrence. I'm a youth empowerment speaker. I help teens and young adults improve self love, confidence, and a positive outlook on life. I also write books on it. So if you're a school principal, podcast host, or anyone interested in this sort of content, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. So, with that said, here's what I want to get into. In my own life, both currently and for many years, I have had a series of things happen that were very, very stressful. And I used to respond to this in very unhealthy ways. I would bottle it all up. I wouldn't come out my room. I was barely taking care of myself. I had bad eating habits. I was a mess. Like, honestly, I was a mess. And I've come a long way. And this video is really just going to be me talking about that. Really just me talking about how do we heal? What is healing really? And how do we address the feelings that we feel, but we don't want to feel? How do we handle the things we feel, but don't want to feel? You have to look at it. You have to distance yourself from the feeling like, okay, I'm feeling really, try this right now, actually. Say out loud, I'm feeling bad. Notice how your body feels. Oh, you feel maybe you're tense. There might be like pressure in your shoulders. Your jaw might be tight. Your stomach might feel like a ball of knots. You might be sweating. Your palms might be sweaty. Now say, Lawrence, or whatever your name is, your name is having a problem and feel stressed about it, but they will figure it out. Now you feel like distant from it. You're like, okay, the problem exists. It's there. But I'm not involved with the problem. Yeah, that's going on, but I'm not attached to it. And talking to yourself like this actually has been proven to reduce your stress. And it's something I do all the time. Because, like I said at the start of this video, I'm currently having a very, very stressful thing going on in my life, but I can't allow that to knock me completely off my path. And it's in these moments where I'm reminded why I do this. Because trust me, as much as I come on here and I talk about ways for us to elevate and grow and develop, I have the same problems as everybody else, if not worse ones. I'm just good at responding to them and handling them in a way that isn't as bad as I used to. So, one of the great tips I recommend everyone do, I say this all the time: get yourself a journal. Go down to your nearest Five and Below, your dollar store, school supply store, wherever you can find a journal. Get you one of those and write in it every day. Write about your day. Write about how you feel, your goals, just whatever you want to write about. Because it's going to allow you to get all the thoughts out your head. Sometimes we are afraid to tell people how we're feeling because I don't want them to judge me. I used to be like that all the time. I used to be so mad and stressed out. And even though I've always had people who loved and cared about me, I wouldn't tell them because I was afraid of them judging me. The notebook don't judge you. The notebook don't got no opinion of you. It don't care. It don't care if you start crying. It don't care if you tear it up and burn it. It don't care. It's a piece of paper. And you can look back on this maybe a couple days later, years later even, and see how far you've come, what you've gone through, how you handled it, and what you learned. Because healing isn't just about feeling good all the time, it's about learning how to respond in a healthier way. Now, maybe you're really angry, you're really sad, you're stressed out, you're frustrated, and you don't know how to explain this to other people. You don't even know how to explain it and write it down. That's when you go to the gym. Maybe you do some push ups, you go run, you go do some yoga, you go to like the boxing gym, you do some Muay Thai or kickboxing or whatever. You get that feeling of your body like that. Or maybe you just take a walk around the block. You're just stressed out and you're like, man, I'm going through it. Stand up and take a walk outside. Go for a little walk around the block. Go to the park. Do some yoga. Go to the YMCA. Whatever you have available. Because when you get up and you just walk, it helps calm your body down. Another thing you can do is it's called box breathing. You breathe in slow for four like this. Now you breathe. Well, now you hold it and out. Now you do it again. See how that just calms your body down? And you just do this over and over and over, and it calms your body down. And when you do things like this, it'll help you to get a more clear mind. Because the goal isn't to always feel good, the goal is to make better decisions when things are stressful. Because, yes, people will make you mad. You're probably a teenager or young adult watching this, which is who my content is for and the people I speak to. So you may be going through a breakup. You may be having challenges with your family. You may have gotten fired from your first job. You might have failed a school test. You might be having like more big issues. And it's going to be many, many, many times in your life when things will happen. There's going to be times when you get broken up with. There's going to be times when you fail a test. There's going to be times when you get fired from a job. There's going to be times when people make fun of you. There's going to be hard times. And healing isn't just about, oh my gosh, life is so great. It's about, okay, I'm having a problem, but I'm not going to crash out over this. I'm going to get up And instead of fighting this person, I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to walk away. Instead of punching the walls, I'm going to go punch the weights. I'm going to go punch the boxing gym bag. I'm going to go do some push ups. I'm going to do some yoga. Instead of locking myself away in my room and crying every night, I'm going to journal. I'm going to read a book. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to slow down my breath. Because it's like this, right? Your stress, you can think of it like snow. I used this metaphor like yesterday when I was talking to somebody. You can think of your stress as like snow. It's these little specks, a little bit of snow. Oh, just now imagine you just let stuff build and build and build and build and build and build. You're getting the point here. Eventually, what you could have just said, oh, I feel cold. Let me handle this. But you say, oh, it's not that big a deal. Oh, I'm not going to deal with it. Oh, we're just small. Eventually, the small things add up and they build up. And before you know it, you freeze and you got hypothermia because you didn't handle it as it was happening. And if you don't know how to handle the little things, eventually, when the big things come, you're just going to be crushed under the weight because you don't know what to do. And the skills I mentioned earlier of journaling, exercise, box breathing, where you breathe in for 4, hold it, breathe out for 4, and repeat that. Yoga, meditation, reading a book, going for a walk. These are all things that you can just try out. And you can try other things. Because I know some people who, what they do when they're stressed out is they make music. I know other people who write poetry. I know other people who they paint. I know other people who they cook. Other people garden. Some people pray. Some people go to like a Bible study. It's all about finding what works for you. Because healing isn't about always feeling good. It's about learning how to respond in a proper way when things aren't so good. Healing is not about always feeling good. It's about making better decisions when things are not so good. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a wonderful, lovely, and blessed day.